highly recommend that Sugarcane skip over to how to make love to me part 2. Unlike Sonic on Chuckle, I used some Sonic and Knuckle.
Friendship ends in 10 seconds.
Only half of the fanfiction. I have to finish it. All right? Can you bear with me?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, by the way, Crystal, you said you were gonna pay me 2 refined. I hope you're ready when I finish this.
Please continue the fanfiction.
I will. Also, I got a drink of water, so that's good.
Calls and got you one of the big contracts. I don't give these out every day, so don't screw it up, alright?
Sonic makes sure to feel inside every part of Amy's womanhood as he continued to thrust himself inside of her, being not too soft, but not too hard either, making sure she felt every movement of his being in the most enjoyable way possible. Amy started to pant and moan in pleasure as she felt Sonic thrust into her. She thrust back, wanting to feel as much of Sonic as she possibly could, as she ran her hands down Sonic's quills and back, massaging every back muscle she touched. She felt Sonic speed up slightly and her muscles reacted, making her body scream with pleasure as she kissed Sonic's bare chest. This everything to her. It was like something out of a most naughty fantasy that she never even knew she had. Sonic's movements were so swift, so fluid, so wild. Amy had never felt the exact feeling she was feeling right now, but while they were now new, they were certainly enjoyable. She never wanted this moment to end as her heartbeat accelerated. She begged as she whimpered in bliss, matching his thrusts with her own as if she were involved in a forbidden dance. Sonic picked up in his rhythm as sweat dripped down his bare chest and stomach, thrusting harder and faster into Amy, feeling her kisses against his chest and her hands massaging his back. As his pants, moans, and grunts matched Amy's, that she helped him free from prison island during the Shadow fiasco. All the times he shared with Amy were replaying in his mind, as they quickly brought him to his very moment with the one female hedgehog he wanted to spend his life with. He grabbed her hips tightly. He grabbed her hips tightly as he started to kiss her back passionately and thrust into her faster and deeper. Amy, oh God, how could anyone find this sick and immoral? Sonic thought as he thrust deeper. Amy's cries of pleasure and bliss were echoing through his ears, and her delicate hands were rubbing deep into his back muscles as she thrust back just as fiercely. This feels like absolute paradise. The love, pleasure, the passion. So this is what I've been missing out of all my life. But it's better late than never. She's like an angel. Only angels are capable of such raw sexual moves. Amy's grip on Sonic tightened and her fingers dug into him as she savored his kiss and thrust along with him, feeling his organ inside of her womanhood. She felt the heat building up deep inside as Sonic's raw dance of sex moved her through every inch of her insides, driving her crazy with such movements. Oh my, this feels like heaven! Amy's mind was going a mile a minute and could barely think. About the only thing she could focus on was on the immense pleasure she was feeling. She wondered how much more pleasure and raw moves she could feel and experience before she finally caved in. Sonic and Amy were feeling only love and pleasure now as both minds cried out for the other, and their grunts and moans became louder and more pleasure-filled. Time just seemed to pass by as they all could focus on was each other's movements and their deep-rooted love and respect for one another. Their dance of love became more erotic, more energetic as each gave the other their all, letting their bodies fill each movement and take in what the other gave to them in full swing. Slowing down this rhythm for a moment, he gazed at Amy playfully. Amy, he smiled. How would you like to be on top? He asked breathlessly. Amy moaned in response, nodding gingerly as Sonic turned over, pulling her on top, before speeding up his steady rhythmic thrust once more. Amy rode on top of Sonic, thrusting her hips against his pelvis, while he pumped his love into her. She felt so invigorated and dominant being on top, as she started to massage Sonic's pectoral muscles while his thrusting sped up. Amy wrapped her legs around Sonic's torso as she bucked like a pony on top of Sonic's hot body, her fur getting soaked with sweat. Down below Amy, Sonic kept pumping himself upwards into Amy's petite body, letting his pink lover ride him like a bucking bronco, letting her feel every thrust, movement, and vibration from his steaming body. If this was Amy's first time, Sonic wanted it to be a memorable time. Amy, You're my soulmate, my all. Let yourself feel my love for you. He thought passionately as he gave Amy everything he had. Amy felt herself reaching her climax, as though she would orgasm any minute. Sonic, oh god, Sonic, oh! Every loving kiss, stroke, and thrust that was building up inside of Amy, she felt as though she was ready to burst. Amy, oh god, Amy! Sonic grunted, feeling himself heat up, feeling as though he could release at any minute. He wanted Amy to experience every last movement, every thrust, so that her first time would indeed be a memorable one. Suddenly, Amy reached her peak and orgasmed loudly. Sonic! She spilled herself all over Sonic, gripping Sonic tightly as she orgasmed. Sonic gripped Amy's back tightly as he screamed out, Amy! He spilled out his seed with ease. Both wished there was no barrier between them, but they were not ready for a possible pregnancy of Amy's. Both made a mental note to look into other forms of contraceptives that would give them more freedom over how they made love together. Both hedgehogs collapsed together on the bed. Sonic pulled away from Amy and discarded the condom immediately before pulling the covers over their sweat-glistening naked bodies and snuggling close to Amy. They weren't united physically anymore, but emotionally and spiritually. Their ties were stronger than ever. Amy curled up close in Sonic's embrace, panting with exhaustion. That was wonderful. Sonic shivered with pleasure. It certainly was. He was just as exhausted as Amy. Amy giggled softly. Looks like the speed isn't your only strong suit. She traced her finger along Sonic's chest. And you have a hidden talent, Sonic winked, kissing her along her neck. He held her close to his warm body. I know I'm going to love spending the rest of my life with you, Amy. He hugged her before giving her another kiss. Sonic, you're so sweet. Amy began to drift off to sleep. I love you, she whispered softly. I love you too, Amy. Sonic whispered softly in her ear, giving her one last kiss before she fell asleep, snuggling against his chest. Sonic held Amy close to him as he too drifted off to sleep, his mind on a beautiful future, together with Amy Rose. The end.
Look, Sugarcone, I love your creation. I'm gonna just give you some, some opinions of what I had about the fanfiction and your narrator. I'm disappointed that you...
I'm not that good at English. But...
I know, it's fine. I'm disappointed that you didn't have you didn't put the effort to have Sonic's voice and Amy's voice. I'm disappointed that the fanfiction doesn't have that one part where Sonic is like... Sonic slowly lowers his hand down to his crotch area, whips out his chili dog and says, Sonic speed.
You know, I was reading this from pre-written fanfic, I wasn't writing my own. Oh, you owe me to refine, bitch.